The greatest myth in the WNBA dump has officially been exposed. The myth of all myths, the deception of deceptions. For the better part of 2 years, maybe even 3 years, the mainstream media has been trying to convince us that Angel Reese is a huge star.
Angel recrowned herself as the face of the WNBA, so how did she not even sniff the top 10 in all-star voting, shooting 30.9% from the field? Might have something to do with it, statistically one of the worst marks among qualified players in the league.
Well, the first returns are coming in on the WNBA All-Star voting. Of course, it will be in Indianapolis. And as you can imagine, Caitlin Clark is leading the All-Star vote. By the way, it looks like a massive turn.
Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark wasn't just participating, she was dominating the polls with over 515,000 votes, leaving Rhea in the dust like she forgot the voting even started. If you support Caitlin and the rest of the Fever, then continue to vote for them for this year's All-Star game and comment baby goat over baby giraffe down below. Let's
honest. Second straight year that Clark has led the fan voting. She was second in early returns in fan voting in 2024, but jumped to first with around 700,000 total votes by the end of the period. So I'm wondering, are we going to see 1 million votes this time? Because I saw somebody earlier that said so far, voting is actually way up versus exactly where we was at this time last.
And that's where this whole narrative starts to unravel. If Rhea is the name, everyone's pushing. Why are fans pushing back with their votes? Because let's be honest, Angel Reese has been everywhere lately. You can't open a social media app, walk past a bus stop ad, or blink during a commercial break without seeing her face. She's become the most visible 30% shooter in modern basketball history.
Caitlin Clark has 3 times the amount of votes. 3 times the amount of votes as Angel Reese. So there you go. I suspect Sophie Cunningham's numbers are going to grow after what we've seen. Somebody said, I saw some things online about they sold $1 million worth of Sophie Cunningham jerseys, and something in the neighborhood of 12,000 all went out one day.
Just cover Angel Reese. They practically made her a case study in branding, from Forbes calling her the engine of WNBA growth to sports shows pretending she was the league's savior. It was a full-blown campaign. Some of these pieces didn't even mention Caitlin Clark, who was out here casually dropping 30-footers and breaking attendance records like it was another Tuesday.
Some in the media even do investigative journalism and claim that Angel Reese is the face of the WNBA because she leads the league in followers on social media, along with missed layups and a complete lack of athleticism. Of course, the vast majority of her followers are bots and lonely men, most of which are not buying tickets or watching her games on television because they can't afford the 5 pesos a month to watch the Chicago Bravado on WNBA League.
The league was all in on it. OneBuzz social accounts were pushing Reese highlights like she was the second coming, giving her the kind of screen time that even all-star dream about. She was everywhere, interviews, podcasts, endorsements, name it. Angel Reese was getting booked like a Marvel movie. And she embraced it, telling the world she's the reason people are watching. Bold claim, especially when those viewers seem more interested in watching someone else.
Hi, Angel. David Moses with the Biggest Media. Last year, you made a powerful statement saying the reason people are watching women's basketball is not just because of one player, but because of you too. A year later, do you feel like you're
Next question. Yeah, we'll move on. Thank you. Move on to Zoom.
Because while Reed talked legacy, Clark built one. Caitlin Clark's numbers weren't just solid. They were superstar level. Fans don't just want charisma, they want results. And when it came time to vote, the fans let the stats speak for themselves. Clark skyrocketed to the top of the polls, while Reed barely cracked the discussion. That's not just a surprise, that's a reality check.
There's a supposed, people keep telling me, supposed second most popular player in the league that doesn't look like the second most popular player at all. And in fact, a rookie I have been touting that is playing better than Angel Reese, Kiki Arifin. Well, basketball fans are showing up, and they have got her voted ahead of Angel right now. Angel is not in the top
top 10, and that disconnect is telling. Why didn't all this hype translate into actual votes for every story celebrating Angel Reese's charisma? Caitlin Clark was out there putting up box scores that demanded respect, while Ree was trending for tweets. Clark was trending for highlights. There's a difference between being popular and being impactful, and the fans noticed.
According to Forbes, Caitlin Clark is not responsible for elevating this turd into the mainstream. The ladies responsible for elevating the WNBA are Angel Reese and the unknown face of the Las Vegas Anonymous face.
Even Forbes, in all its journalistic wisdom, crowned Ree as a key figure in the league's explosion, while conveniently leaving Clark out. That kind of narrative building doesn't hold up when the fans are the ones writing the next chapter. And when the dust settled, it was Caitlin's name at the top of the ballot, not because of hype, but because of game.
Enough to tell you where Angel Reese's place is. Well, it's 13th place. And I can tell you right now, Jonquel Jones ought to be ahead of.
This goes deeper than basketball. It's a litmus test for trust. Fans don't want to be told who to like. They want to decide for themselves. And when they saw the all-star ballots, they made that decision clear. Reese didn't make the top 10, not even close, despite all the media backing, all the endorsements, all the marketing dollars. When it came time for fans to vote, they passed.
Angel Reese is the most unskilled basketball player in the history of basketball, in my opinion.
Now let's get into the numbers, because this isn't just a popularity contest. This is about performance. Ree might be grabbing rebounds, but when you shoot 30.9% from the field, it's hard to convince people you're elite, especially as a post player where those shots are supposed to be automatic. Missing layups isn't exactly all-star behavior.
There is obviously no way Angel can compare to Caitlin Clark as a shooter or a passer. And there is no way Angel can live up to her dynamic social media / podcast presence as a shooter or a passer or even a shot blocker. She's blocked only 2 shots so far this season. She doesn't even do that.
That 4-point game against the Fever, let's not forget Caitlin Clark wasn't even on the floor. It was Reese's moment, and she put up a dud. That's not the stuff that earns votes. That's the stuff that earns memes. And while her fans point to her rebounding numbers, a deeper look reveals a lot of those are what people are calling rebounds. Rebounds off her own misses. Efficiency still matters in this league. She
has energy. She has an attitude. She'll rebound you the basketball. Great. Nothing else. She has not, she's got self-awareness. She knows that she's not a very good basketball player.
Sure, the hustle's there. She fights for boards and stays active, but it's 2025. Teams want players who can score, pass, defend, and hit free throws when it counts. If all you bring is rebounding and empty swagger, you're not making the cut, especially when there are rookies and veterans putting up double-doubles without needing a camera crew.
They continue to talk a good game instead of being about a good game. This is fan voting. This is literally vote for who you are a fan of. Vote for who you're a fan of, or vote for who you think is most worthy. Vote for who you're a fan of. Vote for who you think is most worthy. Vote for who you think are the stars in this league. Angel Reese fans, you guys aren't fans of her? You don't think she's most worthy? You don't think she's a star in this league?
Let's also talk about fan connection. Caitlin Clark didn't beg for a crown. She earned it. She's relatable. She's composed under pressure, and she delivers when it counts. Clark has turned doubters into believers and arenas into her personal stage. Angel Reese, meanwhile, is still rehearsing loud confidence with low percentages. Isn't a recipe for fandom. It's a recipe for Twitter debates. This is a league desperately trying to grow its audience. If the goal is to bring new fans, and then you have to give them stars who actually shine. Clark is doing that. She's bringing in viewers, filling seats, and lighting up the scoreboard. Ree, on the other hand, is bringing in a lot of broken backboards and missed shots. So here's the verdict. All-star selections aren't about who has the most Instagram followers or who said the boldest thing in a press conference. They're about performance, production, and proving it when it counts. Caitlin Clark, she's proven it. Angel Reese, she's still looking for her shot and apparently her fan base. And that's the difference. One player is redefining the league with every pass and three-pointer. The other is learning that media buzz can't carry you where buckets can't. Let that be a lesson. Not only is the self-proclaimed Barbie not in the lead, Angel Reese isn't even close to making the top 10. Let's stack Angel Reese up against some of the WNBA's most well-rounded forwards. Take Aaliyah Boston. She's not just a rebounding machine, she's a two-way threat. who racks up points and shuts down opponents, and fans rewarded that complete package with about 447,000 votes. Then you've got Kiki Erie putting up double-doubles like it's her day job and pulling in over 213,000 votes in the process. What sets these players apart isn't just one standout skill, it's that they touch every corner of the stat sheet. That's the kind of versatility fans are eager to vote.
Not only is the self-proclaimed Barbie not in the lead, Angel Reese isn't even close to making the top 10.
Even if you zoom in on Reese's strengths, it's impossible to ignore the glaring holes. Sure, she hustles under the basket and fights for position like her lunch money's on the line, but rebounding alone doesn't build a complete player. Analysts agree that WNBA is a league full of multi-skilled threats and players who only dominate in one area. Risk becoming one-dimensional. Reese's stat line reflects a player who hasn't yet found that balance. Until she expands her game, her ceiling will stay firmly capped.
7, 8, 9 on the list are Kelsey Mitchell, Sabrina Ionescu, and Lexington Hull. The following 3 are Kiki Ariafin, Kelsey the Plumber, and Satu Sabali? You mean to tell me these unknowns are ranked ahead of the face of the...
The numbers say it loud and clear. While Ree is a rebounding force, her inefficient scoring and limited offensive impact hold her back from serious all-star consideration. That brings us to the central question in today's WNBA: what actually earns an all-star nod? Rebounding might grab headlines, but fans clearly want more. Let's dig into what the voters really told us.
Lexi Hall, 217,000, and there is Kiki Arifin, 213,500. She's averaging a double-double, a legit double-double, with a good field goal percentage. Angel Reese, well, wait a minute. I thought it was about you too. Everybody's watching because of me too, except everybody's not watching because of you too. I mean, guys, if the ratings ain't enough and the attendance ain't enough and what happened at LSU ain't enough and all this other stuff ain't enough to tell you where Angel Reese's place is, well, it's 13th place.
The voting mechanics are simple. 50% of the vote comes from fans, while players and media each contribute 25%. That gives fans the biggest voice in the outcome. And with that power, they chose to pass on Angel Reese. Caitlin Clark, by contrast, collected a staggering 516,000 votes, utterly dwarfing Reese's 173,000. That's not a voting gap. That's a vote canyon wide enough to build a storyline in and still have room for a halftime show.
So even right down here, the Mirror's calling out Angel Reese. As for Reese, one-time All-Star from last year in a rookie season alongside Clark, who appears set to earn a second honor, has struggled in 2025. 23-year-old, notorious for her rebounding supremacy, averages 11 points, but the Sky are 3 and 8. And she's shooting like, I don't even know what she's at now. It's probably less than 35%.
This outcome reveals something deeper than just preference. The All-Star vote is supposed to measure popularity, peer respect, and media momentum. And yet, despite months of wall-to-wall coverage hyping Ree as the league's breakout star, fans said, no thanks. They didn't fall for the headlines. They judged based on gameplay. Clark, on the other hand, backed up the buzz with real performances, game-changing plays, clutch buckets, and highlight moments that couldn't be ignored. DeFi Collier.
Let's see. Fan voting runs through the 28th. Culmination of fan voting, 50%. Player votes, 25%. And media votes. Oh, that's going to be where Angel Reese makes her move. Media votes, 25%, will determine the All-Star starters. Looking right at you, CBS. You still ain't released the rest.
Look at the rest of the top 10, and the message becomes even clearer. Aaliyah Boston racked up nearly 450,000 votes, not because she's flashy, but because she's consistent and impactful on both ends of the court. NFA Collier, last year's Defensive Player of the Year, and this season's MVP front-runner, pulled in nearly 500,000 votes. Fans are rewarding substance over spectacle, production over personality. Reese's stats just don't measure up.
Nafisi Collier, who is probably the leader of the MVP pack right now, is at 485,000. Aaliyah Boston is third, 447,000, as she should be. Aaliyah should get some MVP conversation. I'm going to be honest.
It's telling that while Ree leads the league in rebounds, that alone isn't enough in a league that values versatility. She remains a one-trick pony, and fans aren't fooled. They want complete players, athletes who not only work hard on the boards, but also stretch the floor, defend tough assignments, and carry their
I know Kelsey Plum is likable. She's a lovely lady, but you mean to tell me she's more popular than Angel Reese? The same Angel Reese who has been begging, and I mean begging, people on social media to vote for her? Angel Reese, number 13 on the list, 173,000 votes.
Reese's rise has been driven more by persona than performance. From viral sound bites to flashy branding, she's built a presence that makes headlines, but fans are clearly tuning in for more than a good quote the league, and the media got ahead of themselves propping up a star before. The stats were there to back it up, and now the fan vote has exposed that disconnect. They chose proven contributors like Clark in Boston over Ree, no matter how often she appeared in highlight reels or commercials. So what does this say about how the WNBA should approach building stars? It's a reality check, plain and simple. You can't engineer a superstar. You can't paste someone's face on a billboard and expect the fans to fall in line. People are watching the games, checking the stats, and making their voices heard, and those voices aren't echoing what the media is pushing.
Didn't shoot a single free throw. Although she did have 12 rebounds, her average, which does lead the league. But a couple of times Angel drove it and flung up just these wild shots from 3 or 4 feet that missed the rim by, 3 or 4 feet. Just looked so ridiculously awkward, like she'd never even played basketball.
This vote sends a message, not just to Angel Reese, but to every player in the league. Want to be an all-star, deliver, consistently earning votes isn't about having the biggest personality, it's about having the most impact, and fans are paying close attention. Reese's media image and real world reception have officially split. The all-star voting results prove that hype without substance just doesn't cut it anymore. This vote didn't just shuffle the all-star deck, it reshuffled the way we look at WNBA stardom. Fans are demanding performance over packaging. Reese may still have the endorsements and the media attention, but the fan response is a reality check. The league can't ignore the all-star process has become a spotlight for what fans truly value. They're telling the WNBA exactly what they want: players who bring it every night, not just in sound bites or ads. The all-star vote isn't a fluke, it's a reflection of the future. If Ree wants to be a true face of the league, she's going to have to earn it with her game, not just her image. If you support Caitlin and the rest of the Fever, then continue to vote for them for this year's All-Star Game, and comment Baby Goat over Baby Giraffe down below. Like, subscribe, and turn on all notifications so you never miss out. Click the video on the screen, and we will see you in the next